Hello there. How are you? Welcome back or welcome. My name is Carrie, and I'm a psychic medium, and we're going to be doing a reading today. Just as it happens to be, it is Pisces New Moon. For me, this is a particularly special night because I work with Hecate, and we always do a feast for her on the new moon because it's her moon. And she's in particularly perfect alignment because she helps us with our psychic abilities, many of us. And as we are all working on our psychic abilities, I just did a video about that, we can tune in to the frequencies and the energies and see what we need to know to help open up these abilities. And these abilities give us a clear understanding, first of all, of who we really are on a spirit level and to see things clearly. And so in the interest of that, we're going to go ahead and just do a little smoke cleanse with this frankincense incense. And I'm going to go first reverse counterclockwise, which helps to remove any blockages, anything that is unwanted in our energy fields, both in mine and in yours. And then we're going to go counterclockwise, which we're going to bring in your highest good, the messages that you need to know for now, whenever you find this, and also for this Pisces new moon. So let's go ahead and get into this reading. I have been enjoying doing these channeled messages so much. And as I've mentioned before, these are one of the most important parts of my week in the work I do, and being able to connect with so many of you that I'm getting to know through this channel, it just means the world to me. So thank you. I always check in to see, okay, what decks do the guides want me to use for this particular reading? What messages need to come through? And I'm feeling drawn to oracle decks. Now, many of you know I sometimes pull my camera down and you get to see the cards. I may still do that. But right now I'm going to be working here with you, connecting with your energy. So my intention for this reading for you and for me is that we really do bring the clearest messages, that this will validate you. This will give you that aha moment you're looking for. This will be also a bit no nonsense. It won't be vague for you. It's going to be really clear. So let's see what we get. So I'm really drawn to this one deck. This is the Soul Coaching Oracle deck. It's yummy. Ooh. Okay, let's see what's coming out right away. 3 cards feels right away. Acceptance. Notice we also have the moon there. So we have this wise, sage part of ourselves that we can connect with. You know, it doesn't matter what our ages are, because every now and then we really do need to connect with the highest, wisest part of ourselves. And did you know you can actually set your intention to connect with the wisest part of yourself? That's your higher self. And as you do that, you can do that through meditation, prayer, journaling, and just awareness. So let's think about that for this new moon and just opening up our energy. I also love so much how she has the gold around her crown chakra. And that's really how many of us see spirit and the divine, that masculine energy of spirit that connects in with us, that brings forth our wisdom, our guidance, and our clarity, and also helps us connect with guides that are from the higher realms to inform us. Speaking of which, I have been feeling in particular lately, I do share this with many of you, and if you're new, this is something I often do, is to talk about my own journey. I've been on my path for a long time, and I help people also on their paths to open up to their abilities. And I also have a lot of new experiences that happen. In particular, I've been working a lot with the Archangels as of late. And when I go into the Akashic Records, I open up my energy and I really say, what is the purpose of this day today? How can I serve? What do I need to know? What am I possibly missing? Where are things? And lately, those archangels have been really coming in for me. So when they come in for me, I also know they're coming in for many of you. So let me know in the comments if you've been noticing them more often, or if you have other guides that are coming around to guide you and to channel with you and work with you. Something I just love to talk about. Acceptance. Isn't this a beautiful card? I just feel like the imagery is just so expansive. First of all, those colors of that golden peach, that is one of the archangels that comes through for me. Archangel Ariel, who is a feminine archangel, who works a lot with abundance and opening and also with earth energy. She's a lover of Mother Gaia. So I feel like this is her coming forth, just saying, be open to what is coming to you, your abundance, prosperity in the terms and the ways that it stands for you. But also, possibly some of you, we have the adventure card coming up. Possibly some of you are going to be going on a literal adventure, which means traveling, but also maybe more of a spiritual adventure where you are going on some kind of a trek that will challenge you, that will help you with discovery of who you are. Maybe you'll learn things like about your past lives or your abilities or parts of yourself that are in shadow that need healing and transformation and that golden light. So that is coming. I'm feeling drawn to one more card and then we'll move into tarot and Lenormand. Yeah, this is one of my favorite cards in this deck, the Peace. This reminds me of the monks who walked through the United States for peace. If you just notice the spaciousness he gives himself of connecting in with the divine, with all that is. And as a result, you can see everything around him is just clear. So maybe we can think about this today as we are connecting in with our own guides and higher self, bringing forth that clarity. And also he has the dove of peace. Just love that. All right, let's get down to some truth telling. I'm going to shift my camera now so you can see. I've been really loving doing Lenormand readings so much, and I've been actually studying particularly with Miss Erica Robinson, and she is an incredible Lenormand teacher. She's written a book on it, and she has a YouTube channel here called In the Company of Cards. An incredibly intelligent, just amazing teacher, amazing woman. So I highly recommend check her out if you're wanting to learn Lenormand. She's someone I would love to meet and interview someday. So what do we need to know, Spirit? What's our primary theme and where are we challenged? What's happening? So let's start. This is a money read. This is a prosperity read. This is a flow read. This is how we can accept more abundance. You all remember one of our first cards was the card of abundance. Acceptance. It's that flow. Acceptance, and this feels, again, because we have Archangel Ariel coming down here for us. I'm going to leave this right here as we're moving forward, that this is part of the same synergy coming through. Flow, expansion. It's very Piscean energy. And again, this is a new moon in Pisces. So let's just imagine we're expanding with that. What else is coming? The child, the heart, love, and the man. Okay, take a breath. So this, for many of you, might in fact be relationship and expansion related. It seems to me like there is a new experience coming that's related to a relationship, possibly with a partner. Doesn't matter the gender. This is just indicating that. And then expansion and abundance. And maybe it is that very clear message that comes from Ariel that says, accept this beautiful energy of what is into your reality. And as you will it, as you allow it to expand, and as you embrace it, as you bring it into your aura, so it is. So it is, so it is. So whether it's actually a relationship or it's just more of something that brings a lot of really positive experiences into your life, the man can also be things that are more logical, things that are related to things that possibly are things. The man, when the man comes into the reading, it doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship. but it is something you're probably working on, that you're very invested in, that you have a heart center towards, that might require some logic. Now, what's the outcome? This is very interesting because this is the bouquet, which means a gift that's being given. It's somehow being shared with you, but we also have a word of caution here. I'm going to pull another card. It will give context to this. So there's a little bit of what we say is a chink in the armor. So there's a little bit of an indentation in the armor of this. So that means that there's something nefarious, possibly a negative energy drain of a person or a situation which is going to test you and challenge you. And as we open up and have abundance, we do have to work with shadow, things that come up. Shadow can be within us, but can also be in the people around us. So being cautious of that, we're going to pull a few more clarifying cards. So here's what is coming into play here. We're getting some kind of an offer or some kind of a good news that comes in, supposedly, okay? But there's a block here that comes up with the mountain and then the mice. So this indicates, which I feel like is all connected to this row, don't take everything at face value. Sometimes when we're working on our manifestations, what we have to really understand is that Spirit brings some things into our lives, and we might think first pass through that that's the thing we want to manifest. But I will tell you, more times than not, often it's a process they're working on with you to bring something that really is for your highest good. So sometimes things are going to come in that aren't exactly in alignment, that don't fit the bill of what you wrote down in your journal that you wanted. So make sure you don't fall for the first thing that comes. I have so many experiences, both personally and with clients, of people wanting to manifest their dream situation, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a job, whether it be moving, whether it be something that's coming in with abundance, finance, where people thought a specific thing was going to happen a certain way. And then Spirit says, nope, not that thing. Have understanding that the bigger lesson here is you learning to trust the process and trust Spirit. So let's get more clarifiers on that. See, you're having a fork in the road, which means you've got another choice that will come. Something that's a much better fit for you from someone who is much more loyal, much more dedicated, serves you well. Final card, probably connected to something with transportation or travel. So keep open as these signs start coming in. Understand when it comes to signs and when it comes to manifestations, what you expect and the way you think it's going to happen is not always as clear as we would like it to be, but Spirit always does it for a reason. I'm going to pull some of tarot at the moment and see what that brings us with this situation. You know, here's the thing. I think once we really embrace that Spirit knows best for us, Spirit really does have our best interests at heart always. And if we are more concerned with that and aligning with that and staying in tune with really the way the essence of the energy works, which is essentially the fish, moving with things, right? Flowing with things and realizing the abundance will flow if you stay with Spirit, but you might have moments of confusion, okay, along the way. So we have a couple interesting cards coming up. They're in reverse. So let's see what we got. Okay, so we have two of the queens in reverse. So there's something afoot here. Queen of Wands, of course, which is a fire energy. So this could be Leo, this could be Sagittarius, this could be Aries. Remember, we're moving into Aries next week. And then right next to it, we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. In the center, we have the Five of Cups in reverse as well. So what does this indicate or tell us? Whenever I see any of, especially the court cards in reverse, I always go back to the card before it and say, what did I not learn or correct? The card before this is the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Wands. Two very intense masculine energies. When you have masculine energies in the reverse, the energy is not flowing in the right direction. What that means in this case is, because of swords, has to do with thought, communication, clarity. But it's also a card of motion because it's a knight. So what do we need to do to get our thoughts in the right direction? Possibly, again, this all goes back down to the shadow work, to being clear, to understanding what really is the best action for you. And often that is what? Connecting in with spirit. Goes back very much to the very beginning of this reading, and expanding, allowing, letting it all flow through, but understanding it's a journey and there's going to be bumps. So we need to work on the way we're second guessing ourselves. Maybe we're overthinking. The Knight of Swords is in reverse, so we're inverting that. We need to correct that, have more self-awareness. The Queen of Swords has self-awareness about her thoughts, her communication, her ideas. Moving over to the Queen of Wands in reverse. That's one of the ones that is telling you that you're lacking confidence if you're not being able to express her. You're lacking the passion, the drive, the inspiration. Knight of Wands in reverse, too, is also probably really second-guessing themselves as far as where they should put their energy. More than likely, the center of this whole situation, and possibly why this whole energy is not flowing when it comes to your manifestation, has to do with this right here. Five of Cups in reverse, which means that likely we need to be in a place of allowing ourselves to grieve something that didn't work out, grieve something that ended, grieve someone we lost, grieve someone that we haven't forgiven or that we need to move on from. But that's the crux of all these things here, and likely why Spirit, it might delay the abundance from coming in. This is never anything to be concerned or worried about. This has more to do with going with the flow and accepting and trusting the wisdom of Spirit. Now, I'm going to move in to do a few oracle cards to summarize this reading. This has been incredible so far. Let me know in the comments if this resonates. And also, I'm going to be doing another reading soon as well for the month of April coming up. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. And I'm feeling really drawn that I want to work with the Oracle of the Seven Energies, which has a lot of wisdom to bring us. Let's see, Spirit, finalizing this reading. I mean, I would love to know next steps. I'm hearing let your guard down. Not easy to do when you feel change is going on. Guess what? Two hearts are coming up. So that's all about the heart chakra. Beautiful uncaging. Symbol for many people is that keyhole, opening up that heart space. That's got to be for you. And okay, have we decided now that the orange and the gold is the color of this reading? Remember, that is so orange, gold, yellow, that has a lot to do with Aries energy coming in. So that powerful passion coming in. And then finally, we have these two cards next to each other, which is the power of purpose, being in that very center, understanding your purpose comes with your passion. Your passion comes from this knowing where are you drawn to, where you're being led. Finally, we have another heart. This says great big love. Your greatest and biggest love is always going to be with your heart and spirit first. So concentrating on that, everything else is going to flow and fall into place. All right, my loves, I will see you in the next reading. Thank you again.